Hi, class. I wanted to talk with you about taking those data you collected and making some visuals. Now, what I forgot to tell you yesterday is that I'm going to go ahead and do this project at the same time you are. Let me show you what I'm going to do. I don't know how well you can see this. This is something I stole from somewhere, not sure where I got it. But it's a big bin. It's filled with lots of colored balls. There are white balls, purple balls, blue balls, and some yellow balls. You probably can't see the yellow ones very well. They're not showing up too well. Then I've got this paddle. This paddle's got some holes drilled partially through it. So you can see I've got 5 by 5 on each half. So that's 5 times 5 is 25 times 2. That's 50 little holes I've got drilled in here. And the way this works is I can scoop it in here and kind of shake off the stuff on top. And you can see that I've actually sampled. And what I've been doing, the thing I'm measuring is, hey, on average, how many white balls do you think I'll get in a single sample? And I'm going to do this 30 times, and I've already done it 27 times. So I'm going to just do the last 3 samples real quickly right now to kind of show you what I've been doing. Okay, so I'm going to stir them up a little bit. Okay, there's one sample. I don't know how well you can see the colors, but let me just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So remember that number, 21. That's my first sample. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So I've got a 21 and a 23. And here's my last one. Okay, 2, 4, 7, 8, 9, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 21, 23, and 20. So those are my 3 samples. Okay, so I've been writing all my numbers down on this paper right here. Can you see those numbers right there? So let me put the last 3 on. 21, 23, and 20. Okay, so I have 30 different samples now. Don't know how well you can see that. Hopefully you can see it okay. Well, once I've collected some data, usually the first thing I want to do is to create some visualization. When I say that, what I mean is I want to create some pictures that help me represent what the data look like. So today I'm going to talk about specifically 3 types of pictures. One is called a dot plot. One is called a frequency table, which really isn't a picture. It's more of a table. And then the third one is called a histogram. And let me show you exactly how that's done. And I did these on graph paper, but you don't have to do them on graph paper. It just helps me keep things lined up better. This is a dot plot. So what I've done over here, up along the bottom, you can see I've put all the numbers. My lowest number is 18. And my biggest number is 30. Let me get that to hold still for a minute. And every time there was a count, I put a dot. So like on 18, one of the scoops, I got 18 white balls. So I put a little dot there. Then a little while later, I got another one that had 18 white balls. So I put a dot there. You can see I have a bunch that are at 25, some at 24, some at 26. So I just had a, what did I do? 21, 23, and 20. So what I'm going to do is, if you look, you can see 21 has 4, 23 has 1, and 20 has 2. So I'm going to put another dot on each one of those. So a dot at 21, a dot at 23, and a dot at 20. So there's my completed dot plot for the data I've collected. Okay? All right, second thing that I made is a frequency table. So this is my frequency table. So over on the left-hand side there, you can see I've got the numbered rows, 18, 19, 20, 21, and I kind of jigged them back and forth so you could read them a little bit better. It wouldn't be too crowded. You could see them all. And then in the middle column, you see it says tally. Well, what I'm doing there is I'm doing a tally mark every time I see an 18. So these data are exactly the same as was shown on that dot plot. This is just a different way of looking at it. So I went through all my data and I counted and I put 2 tally marks for 18, 1 tally mark for 19, 2 for 20, and so forth, because that's how many times those numbers occurred in my table. So let me fill this one out the rest of the way. let's see, I had a 21, so that's a tally mark there. Can't remember. A 23, that's another tally mark there. And a 20, that's a tally mark there. So I've added 3 more tally marks. You might not be able to tell that I've added them, but anyway, I've added them on there. And then in this third column, it says frequency. This is a frequency table. So I'm going to count up the tally marks and put the frequencies over there. So let me do that real quick. See, I've got 2 at 18. I've got 1 at 19. I've got 3 at 20. I've got 5 at 21. I've got 0 at 22. 23 has 2. 24 has 3. 25 has 6. 26 has 3. 27 has 2. 28 has 1. 29 has 0. And then 30 has 2 again. So you can see in this third column on the right-hand side now, I've written in what the frequency is of each of those different counts of white balls in the paddle. So there's the frequency table for my data. Last thing I want to show you is a histogram. Now I haven't started filling this out yet because it's kind of hard to add to it later on, but I want to show you what I've kind of done here. I've down on the bottom, I've kind of defined spacing. So lots of times you'll hear people call these buckets or bins. So I have a bucket that has all the 18s and 19s in it, a bucket that has all the 20s and 21s in it, and a bucket that has all the 23s, 22s and 23s in it, and so forth as we go across there. Now, how do you know how big to make the buckets? Should I make them just 1 number? Should I make them 2 numbers? Should I make them a range of several numbers? Well, that's kind of up to you. You get to decide. But if you make the buckets too narrow, then you'll have a lot of buckets that only have 1 count in them. And if you make them too wide, everything's going to fall into the same bucket. So you kind of have to decide. Typically, when people make a histogram, they like to have anywhere from 7 to 15 buckets that have data in them. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to count up how many times I read either 18 or 19. I'm going to mark that on my histogram. So I'm going to keep my frequency table on the side here, because that's the easiest way to do that. So I have 2 18s and 1 19. That's a total of 3. On the left-hand side over here, you see I've labeled these up 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So I can. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a line at 3 between 18 and 19, like that. Okay. Now 20 and 21. I've got 3 plus 5. That's 8. So I have to be careful to do this in the right place. This is really good to have graph paper when you're doing this because it can get kind of messy real fast. Okay, can you see where I've drawn that line at 8 above the 20 to 21 bucket? Okay, let me keep going here. 22 and 23 has 2. 20, let's see, what am I doing? 24 and 25, we've got 3 plus 6, that's 9. Uh, 26 and 27 has 5. 28 and 29 has 1. And 30 and 31, we didn't have any 31s, but I had 2 30s, so we have 2 there. Okay, so you can see where I've drawn the tops of my histograms. Now what I need to do is I need to fill in the edges here. So the edge on this far left-hand side, I'm going to just go from 0 to 2 because there's that horizontal bar right there. And I'm going to draw it in like that. Okay. Now on the next one, I would also go from 0 to 2, but it also has to go from 0 up to, what is that? 8, I guess, because it's also going to be the left edge of the second bar. So I'm going to just draw a bar from 0 up to 8. And I'm going to continue like that all the way across. So once I've done that, I've got just a really tidy summary of what my data look like. And it's called a histogram. So there's a few tips on creating some data visualization for your data that you've collected. I hope you have fun doing it. Have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.